Welcome back, everybody. While driving to work one morning, photojournalist Debbie Yazbek came across the body of a homeless man on a roadside. She called the paramedics, but they remarked that nothing was wrong with the man. He was just simply dirty. But, however, this man was dead. Deeply affected by the incident, Debbie set out to gain more understanding of the homeless in society. This led to her book entitled Empathy, and she joins us here in studio to talk a little bit more about her experiences. Debbie Yazbek, what a pleasure to have you here, in front of a camera for a change. You never get to sit in front of a camera, do you?
And I dread it, yes.
You dread it. Oh, no, because you're so good behind it. But, you know, the reality is that, I mean, a book like this is long overdue. And I mean, your story was just, I mean, that was devastating. That was the response. He was dirty. He wasn't actually dead.
But I didn't call the paramedics. He had died the night before, and I found his body on the side of the road. And when I asked the security guard across the road what had happened, he explained to me what had happened. And then there's a whole investigation, and the paramedics did lose their jobs because of the incident. So, you know, what I encountered was a person who was just neglected by society, and that really moved me. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, the people that you've profiled in the book. I mean, talk to us about the process of finding these faces, these individuals, these people, and their stories. What did you do?
So what we did was we joined forces with the Salvation Army, and they put us into contact with their different soup kitchens. And we went to each soup kitchen and approached the people who came and asked them if they were willing. It was a voluntary thing. No one was paid for it. It was out of the goodness of our hearts. We were doing this project to get exposure for Salvation Army, to get more funding so they can be fed for longer. And we were welcomed, and it was amazing how many people were willing to have their stories told. And when I was first presenting myself to a group of people, and I said to them what had happened, and the incident of the homeless man was in 2004, if I'm not mistaken, and the one chap in the audience listening to me said, "What took you so long?" Wow. So it was clear to me that these stories had to be told because they wanted to be heard.
Yeah. So it's almost giving the voiceless people a voice. I mean, this photo is exceptionally profound. I mean, just if you can read that, last year I phoned my mother, but she cried too much, so I stopped phoning.
I know, isn't that, it's heartbreaking stories.
It really is. And tell me a little bit more about this individual that we're having a look at, Siyabonga Mahlala, 37 years old.
So Siyabonga can't remember how his finger was cut off.
Gee whiz.
It was, if I'm not mistaken, in a battle with drugs and gangsterism, and when that happened to him, he blacked out and he can't remember how it was cut off and why it was cut off.
Yeah.
So there are lots of stories, lots of interesting stories, and wrong turns people take, and landing up on the streets isn't a choice, it's, you know, a circumstance. That's what happens if you land up in Johannesburg, the city of gold, and there is no gold for you, basically.
Yeah. I mean, I'm reading this paragraph, and I think that's exactly what you're saying, the city of gold looking for opportunities, but it doesn't happen. I want to go back to Port Elizabeth to see my mother again. I want to talk to my community and tell them that I was wrong, but now I'm different, I've changed, and I want to start again. I mean, look at this. Here's, again, talking about your comment. I'm stuck here. And I think that's a problem of a lot of homeless people.
Yes, that's what we found. That's what we came across. And Siyabonga needs 200 Rand to get back to Ladysmith. And it's just heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking.
I mean, spending your time on the streets and meeting these people, interacting with these people. You know, a lot of the time people roll up their windows, they ignore, they won't look, they don't want to. It's like you just want to, you want to ignore it, like it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But how do they feel? What is going through their minds? What are their lives like?
You know, it's all different. There's one fellow in there, I can't remember his name, who said, "I ask for money, people don't give it to me, but I understand that's life. You have that." You know, he understands the situation. And there's another lady who says, "Don't give us expired food. We're not animals."
Yeah.
And there's another person who says, "Don't tell me what to do with the money you give me, it's a gift."
Yeah.
You know, things like that. And it's really interesting. And I think in a society, in a world where human contact is getting less and less because we're of the technological age, this is important for us to stop and look into the eyes of people. And what we did here was take the homeless people out of off the streets and into a studio situation, so that their surroundings don't define them, but their stories and their faces and their experiences.
Yeah. I mean, that photograph that we just showed about knowledge, Msane saying, now I am not a person.
Yeah.
And I mean exactly what you're saying. Don't do that to me. And I am a person. I'm a human being. And his story is, I have no family. My mother, my father, my 4 brothers and sisters all died. It was HIV and AIDS and other sicknesses. Then my uncle died. He was the last. I was 17 in grade 9, and that was the end of it. I mean, when we talk about people sleeping on the streets, I mean, they're literally
sleeping on the
streets.
And they fight over a piece of cardboard, because that cardboard is what they have to sleep on. And also the other thing you find is that the homeless people walk around with huge bags, I'm sure you've noticed, and that's their life possessions. They can't leave it somewhere because it'll be taken, it'll be stolen.
Yeah. The book, the proceeds from the book, I mean, where are we going? Where is it going? I mean, what's the idea?
A portion of the proceeds will be going to the Salvation Army, so that we can feed back into the organization that assisted us.
Yeah.
And you'll see that we went across the country, so hopefully we've got representation of the demographics of our country. And there's another pull-out quote that I found quite interesting, where Stefanus van Heerden, I think his name is, says, today's my turn to be homeless, tomorrow it could be yours. And that's really how I feel as well. When you drive along the roads of Johannesburg, the people on the side of the road could be you.
Yeah.
There's no difference. It's not us and them, it's humanity.
Yeah. I want to end on this photograph as well, this one that I just came across here, because I think this is also very profound. I mean, you have your child, you have your baby, you don't have a home, and I suppose that in a way takes away your ability to be a good mother. But this person, I'll have a look at the name, saying,
Beverly
I'm scared.
Bierkes.
Thank you. There you go. I just had to turn the book around. I'm scared they'll take my baby away. And
Yes.
You're a mother, and that's the last thing in the world. Social welfare once took my daughter away, Brittany, for a weekend when they found me on the streets. She was 17 months old, and obviously she's got her baby back.
And who wants your child to
No,
be taken away?
of
Yes,
course.
the baby is back,
Okay.
but we didn't identify children.
Good. No, of course not. No. So this is on sale in bookstores around the country.
No, we haven't got distributors yet.
You haven't got distributors?
Yes. So
Oh no. Okay.
the best would be to make contact with me on my email
Yeah.
address, and I'll...
And how do we get hold of you? Debbie
Yazbek D
Okay.
at
Yeah.
iCloud.com.
Right. At iCloud.com.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And
Debbie Yazbek, we're going to do that. We're going to put that up again. I will definitely talk about that. I'm sure a lot of people would love to get a copy. How much does it sell for?
500 rand.
For 500
Yes.
rand. Excellent. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you so much. Congratulations for your work.
Thank you.
Debbie never normally talks to the press, I have to tell you. I mean, she's got a photo collection that all of us would die to go. I still want to come for dinner to your house and look at all your photographs, I have to tell you. She's got this photo book out. It's called Empathy, which depict the lives of the homeless people in our society. All right, let's take a break.